you?
Good morning. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for taking the time to meet with me.
My pleasure.
Last time I spoke with Sarah, she told me that you were just coming back from a recent trip to Europe. How was that?
It was nice. I can tell you that Lake Como, Italy, beautiful, picturesque, and we actually got to tour George Clooney's house. If you've seen the end of Ocean's 12,
That's
it's
amazing.
featured there, but absolutely beautiful. I would love it. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm actually planning a trip I'm going to Europe this summer, so that's like really cool to
Oh,
hear about all
awesome.
of
Where are you
that.
headed?
I'm going to Greece and Italy, actually.
Awesome. I recommend Lake Como.
That's awesome. So, if you have a few minutes, I'd just like to ask you a few questions
Yeah.
out of your busy schedule, if you just have a few minutes for me.
Certainly.
So, I recall last time I spoke with Sarah that she told me that a lot of your adjusters are spending multiple hours a week spending time doing tedious paperwork. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, I'd argue it's not tedious. It's necessary, but yes.
But it's very time consuming.
Yeah, they certainly spend at least a few hours a week organizing themselves in the morning and then at night. All the forms they do during the day, we have to digitize them to store them on our server.
Do you still have about 45 of those adjusters?
Yes.
Okay, and when they're going to do adjustments, are they using a company car or their own car?
No, it's a personal vehicle. We do reimburse for mileage, but it's their own vehicle.
Okay. So would you say that these employees are on the technologically savvy side or not so much?
It varies.
Okay.
I certainly hear from those that are not as savvy more often than not.
Yeah, of course.
You know, the industry as a whole is certainly getting a little bit younger. We haven't phased out all of our older generation, so they still love that pen and paper they get to use. But the phone and the photos, not so much, and the uploading everything into the day.
Yeah, all the newer technology is a little bit harder to grasp. Yeah, I get that. So would you say that the processes that you're currently using for your adjusters is something that you're satisfied with, or?
They're certainly satisfactory. They could always be better. You know, it's definitely a big time crunch on both my end and Sarah's, having to support so many questions that I think could be alleviated if we had better employees.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Okay. Has timeliness really been a large issue for you in the past when it comes to adjusters doing adjustments and getting to their adjustments on time and just completing them?
Occasionally, you know, the way that they structure their schedule, sometimes if you miss something in the morning or it goes a little bit long, it kind of snowballs through the rest of the day. But more often than not, we usually are pretty decent about that.
Okay, so would you say that your employees would be open-minded to having new software introduced then, or would they be a little bit opposed to that?
I mean, seeing as we signed the checks, I think they'll roll with anything we throw at them. But you know, it certainly couldn't be anything super technologically advanced, just because it's a lower bar that we're trying to.
Okay, so you said that they're kind of flustered when it comes to technology right now. They're not super.
Yeah, as a whole, I couldn't just throw something brand new at them and say, figure it out and walk away.
Okay, you would need to be more so involved with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are a lot of your adjusters returning to the office in between every adjustment and having to return and come back several times due to like a lack of communication?
No, usually, so they pop in the morning, anywhere between, I'd say probably 7 and 8. They pick up a packet, we give them, the jobs they have that day, and they get to kind of pick on and arrange their schedule however best they see fit. So they go out and they do that, and then they just pop back into the office in the evenings to load everything up.
Okay. Do any of your employees miss any of their appointments due to being late?
It certainly happens. We try to avoid it.
Okay. Do you think there are times to be better spent if they weren't having to deal with so much manual process?
Well, yeah, I mean, we get paid on how many jobs we do per day, so anything that can up that number would be fantastic.
Okay, that's what I was figuring. So let's say your employees didn't have to spend as much time doing all this manual process and paperwork. How would you think this time would be better spent?
Doing more appraisals. Getting out there, seeing more clients, maybe spend a little bit more time if it's not as rushed at the end of the day.
Yeah, with their clients, they don't feel, yeah, I understand that. Do you think you'd be able to alleviate any stress from your IT department if you were to invest in any program which could improve your current productivity?
It depends. Like I said, it couldn't be just a hands-off process on our end more than likely. So it would have to have a pretty low barrier to entry for them to be able to use it and understand whatever they're doing.
Okay. But if there was something that could be introduced, do you think that it could in some ways help them to alleviate stress on your current, because you only have 2 people in your IT department currently, right?
Yeah, just me and Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as whatever we implement is not adding more confusion to their day, then it would be
Okay, so
nothing
it's
but
very
upside.
simple and easy to understand. Yeah. Okay. So how would having IT assistants be able to help your employees complete just appraisals and everything at a faster pace, being able to solve maybe problems on their own in the future. If this is a very easy software to use, would that be possible? Like alleviating stress if they can do these things on their own without contacting you at all?
That would be amazing.
Okay.
But I'll believe it
That's
when I
the end
see
goal.
it. Yeah.
That's hard to achieve though. Okay, so thank you for sharing some of that with me. I really appreciate it. Now, if you have some time, I just wanted to tell you how AT&T maybe has some applications and software and platforms that can be beneficial for you and your current needs.
Okay.
So just to let you know, fun fact, AT&T currently serves 90% of the Fortune 500 companies.
Okay.
But this isn't only through, cellular, which is what we're mostly known for. We also have applications like Workforce Manager and Tech Support 360, which may be very interesting to you. So here are just some pamphlets on the phone.
Okay.
So this is the Workforce Manager and this is the Tech Support 360. So Workforce Manager basically can help you dispatch jobs. You can use the push to talk feature. It really just is able to do everything in one place, in a very succinct and easy to understand way, cutting back on a lot of confusion. You can upload documents, really like modify everything. And it's not super expensive, which is a great advantage. As it says, you can get started within 10 minutes using the registration. It's really very easy to understand, and I think it may be very beneficial for your company.
Okay.
And then when it comes to Tech Support 360, this is just basically an aid to the IT department. It can answer all your questions. It's available 24/7, and it's very safe. So as it comes to like protection, it only will because it accesses your computer through your desktop and you can see everything on your desktop, but it only does so when you give it access to do so. So it's a very safe application to use. And I think it may be able to benefit you in ways that you and Sarah wouldn't have to be as busy because you wouldn't have to be answering such simple questions with your staff.
Yeah. What's the cost on it? Because I really don't have the budget to increase headcount right now. So I'm not sure I could really afford something that's that.
Right, so you're currently having about 20 workdays in a month, and there's, which is 900 hours PTO for 45 adjusters. So that would still be, what you're currently spending would still be a lot more expensive than what these would come out to be. So either way, you'd be saving, it would be a big savings for your IT department.
Okay, so net cost would be reduced?
Yes.
Okay.
The return on investment would definitely be higher.
Okay. So this Workforce Manager, that's going to do what exactly? So that's it. You said it's an application.
Yeah, and it just basically, it's really a way for them to upload. You can with timesheets, punching in, punching out. It can collect data. There's like module libraries. It can collect data in the field and help you dispatch your employees. It could really help with your adjusters in that way, and it's very simple to use. They can upload everything, like I said, to one platform. It has event-based tracking. It can do mobile timekeeping. It's just really one place where everything can be completed in a very easy to understand place.
Yeah, can you pull that photo up again?
Sure.
So Jen was using a tablet there. We are all iOS handsets. Is that going to be an issue?
No, not at all. It's applicable on either application.
Okay. All right.
So, since you have 2 IT staff who are currently having 24-hour access to technicians, with us being able to support your staff, eliminating lost hours of productivity to employees who can't perform their jobs without the help from IT, having this additional help and not having the IT department rely so much on you, do you think that would be like very helpful to you?
Yeah, I definitely think that the tech, what was it? Tech 3 something?
Tech Support 360?
Yeah, I think that would certainly be a good add-on for at least my C levels.
Okay, so that makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And since your company requires so many files being uploaded every day, from the person being dispatched to the person dispatching them, just throughout the whole entire process, having a very easy, streamlined platform to do this on would really be able to possibly, decrease into paperwork lost or any issue which could really prolong the process for you guys. So, do you think that would make any sense to lead into the productivity for you overall?
Yeah, I think there definitely is a use case that we could probably benefit from.
Okay, and as it comes to Tech Support 360, Workforce Manager, you wouldn't have to track your employees' hours as often, since it got overwhelming using timesheets all the time and things like that. You wouldn't have to have them getting forged or any just, you know, shady things going on.
Mhm.
There's a virtual timesheet capability on here, which would be very helpful to you. And I think it may be able to fit very well in your company if that's something that you would be interested in.
Okay, yeah, so I could replace basically the paper stuff they're doing now with that as well as real timekeeping up?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I'd love to see a demo of some of that, and that sounds like a really
yeah,
cool
that's for sure
functionality.
possible. So having a platform which cuts down on manual process overall will be useful for your employees because they wouldn't have to spend an excessive amount of hours inputting information, just taking pictures and screenshots, which of course get confusing for the older employees, like you were saying. So having a platform like this would probably be a very good fit for you guys. Is that also something that makes sense to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we already talked about all of the pricing and everything like that. So, as far as what Workforce Manager does and Tech Support 360, for your company overall, we have the enhanced, the standard, and we also have the premium package.
Mhm.
So, do you think getting started with the standard package for now would be something you'd be interested in doing?
Yeah, let's set up a few test devices on the standard, and we'll see if it works, and kind of get hands on with it and see if that would be a good fit.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So I'll prepare a proposal for you and email it to you directly later today.
Okay,
Okay,
that sounds good.
thank you so much for meeting with
Oh,
me.
my pleasure. Thank you.